Teatronas.
Hello and welcome to the CIRKULIACIJA' podcast. This year we cannot do the physical festival since the quarantine, the pandemic situation, and we need people to breathe the same air and squeeze in and to communicate. But still we preserve the communication aspect in which each day I will talk with a different personality that were programmed to be this year in CIRKULIACIJA'. So today we are talking with PHILINE and Salvatore from my Laika. Hello to you.
Hi.
Hello.
So first of all, how are you with all this crazy situation, with all this quarantine?
Tough.
Here we go.
I'm fine. I'm training and reading and eating and drinking what people do in their lives. I can't really complain, but it's true that I'm missing the traveling aspect of my life, and also to play shows, of course.
Yeah. And is it like a lot cancelled? Did you change your plans? No.
A lot.
Totally.
Yes, totally.
We canceled all the tour until September now.
Oh.
So it means that we are at home, and it is not usually for us because we really don't spend never more than 1 week at home. And now it's
Since 3 months.
Since 3 months, so we really don't. We are experimenting a new situation.
Yeah, new experiences for you.
Totally new experience.
And also
the same place for 3 months, it never happened in the last 20 years.
And also you are in Italy, right? So it's like the whole beginning, the whole craziness started there, no?
Yes.
So,
apparently in China.
Yeah. But I haven't programmed anyone from China. Yeah,
Yes.
but how is overall the situation in Italy? Because I even heard some circus people say that it is the first time they are quite proud about how Italy managed with it. So do you agree with it or no?
Totally,
from your face?
Totally not.
I don't know. I'm not an expert and a virologist or anything, but I don't
in the aspect of culture, so are you heard, or are you, because in Lithuania the culture is like not priority at the moment, which is, so in Italy, how do they inform the cultural field about when they can come back?
Culture is not a priority here.
How
Neither.
wonderful.
Neither. It's
at least in our field, we don't have any clue when we can start working again in Italy,
But
and
also,
in which conditions.
But also, like specifically with you having a chapiteau, it's quite. Can you be sure that in September you can start working again because all the borders, and how do you plan?
No, we really don't know nothing. We are not planning nothing. We just
We're in standby. Let's see what happens.
Just we say September because until now people that contracted us in September they haven't canceled yet. So it means for us that it's one opportunity, but we don't know the next month what we will have.
And also the conditions, it's going to be interesting what kind of conditions we have when we can build up the tent. If we can only have 20 people inside because they have to be 1 or 4 meters from each other, we're not going to be able to open it because you don't get in the costs.
Yeah, and also I saw today a picture because on paper, people thought that it's okay, having 2 meters between people, but then we saw a picture of an opera house when you actually so it's a super sad situation. Even like financially, it's a catastrophe, but even, to perform to a...
Yes. In another interview, we say that we're gonna go back in our work when it will be possible, and when it will respect the people, also the public, because we have to perform, and we have to perform in conditions that are artistically good. If not, doesn't have any sense.
Yeah, there's no sense in doing that.
And also, it's like, okay, I personally think it's okay to be a little bit patient and wait until all this passes and do other things in between, and I don't know, train or read a book, and then start again when it's possible, instead of making strange compromises and playing online shows or.
Yeah, and also here I want to speak with you because you were one of the companies that were doing this. I think it was last week, the streaming action. Can you tell me about that a little bit?
The idea was that we start to reflect all the possibilities, and in one moment a lot of artists we understand, because we were speaking each other, and we understand that streaming makes circus shows. In streaming, it was not an opportunity. We considered all the possibility, all the way, but this is definitely change. That means to change work, because if you produce for a video, you are close to the cinema, to the television, but not to the live show. And so the idea was to tell to all the artists, guys, we have to defend the live show before to change. It's just the first time in our life that the live show is
in danger.
Mm-hmm. And before to go to do other stuff, to try to save the possibilities to make money, or I don't know, just to have fun, we would say to everybody, we have to fight for the live show and not go on streaming, because it is not our work, and we have to defend our work.
And all this not categorically criticizing if somebody wants, like we ourselves, we had the idea to record one of our shows and make a film out of it, but just because we have time now to do this kind of thing, not for as instead of live show.
Yes. We have nothing against the video or the streaming. What are we doing now? There's no problem. But it cannot be an alternative to the live show. It is just another one more things that artists can do, but this is cannot the substitution of the live show.
Yeah. I completely agree, and maybe we can. So basically, for people who don't know, so I saw a bit of it. The streaming was of an empty theater, right?
Yes, the action was planned. We invited all the people with using streaming channels, socials, and everything was in our force to invite all the people to this big cabaret with all the contemporary circus company, and more than 350 people were connected to see this cabaret. So
I was one of them.
Yeah. But after they discovered that it was just a camera moving like a security camera in the theater, showing the stage, the backstage, the door, the toilet, the lodge, everything was empty. And there in the chat of the streaming started a debate. The people start to speak, what are we looking now? What is this? And it starts a kind of discussion, really interesting. We were looking at all the people that until someone say, hey, this is a performance, they go, cool, I was afraid that it was a real show. And we had 1 hour and a half of commentary for the public. So the idea was also transmitted directly to the public. The people that would like to see something on streaming and they found nothing. So they start imagine and reflect with our idea.
And did you have any negative comments? Like, did some people not start to think but start to hate because they are expecting to consume something new, and then they just get your situation in which you cannot show anything?
Of course, but it's part of the game. And, but the idea, we were logically, we were thinking everything. So the cabaret was for free. So nobody was endured for this. Just
there were some frustrated reactions, kind of like, but I wanted to go and see the sunset, and now you kept me home watching this empty stage. And then, well, okay, yes. And
also some people, I want to see you in any case. Show something, you know. It's okay for us. This is now like this, you have to play with this. And you say, no, we don't have to play with nothing. We don't want.
Okay, interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
And okay, so let's talk a bit about the positivity of the live show. I know that you tour a lot, and there is no person that I've met in international festivals when I said that you are planning to come and you will come with your show. Not one person that I found was not knowing you. Like, you're super popular. Everybody saw Laerte, everybody saw Popcorn Machine. Everybody. Yeah, so I felt like, hey, I'm late. I'm not on time. I need to see this. And again, the quarantine did what it did. But how do you tell me a bit about, since last year, usually we do the festival with chapiteaux, because it's easier, you know, to go into new neighborhoods and to put under the balconies, and then people are, oh, what is going on? Last year, we didn't have a chapiteau, and we tried to adapt an abandoned building. And this year, we were really waiting for you. And your tent is absolutely beautiful. It's amazing and stunning. And so tell us a bit why you decided to work in a tent, to travel, and what is the vibe that currently we are losing due to quarantine, the vibe of the atmosphere of feeling that everybody's together watching something in a mobile, venue.
Why we decided to buy a tent was actually because we wanted to have a place of ours where to be able to create what we wanted to create, also to host people we wanted to host, to play their shows. It's an important aspect for us. And we realized that we didn't know where to have this place. So, because at that time we were between France, Italy, and Spain, and Germany, and we
were touring a lot in theater, from a theater to another theater during years, without non-stop. And in one moment we say, okay, we want to stop a little bit and have our place where because also we were touring for show and touring for residents. So all the time we were spending outside our life, and we decided to have a theater, but it was impossible, really. To understand where. We're gonna found a theater in Italy, or in French, no, in Germany, no, in Spain,
And so we decided, okay, it has to be able to move around.
And then we were doing Circus, so it was obviously okay. But until this moment, we never think that we wanted a tent.
No, it was an idea from one day to the other. Like, yes, okay, let's go.
But it is quite an expensive decision, no?
Yes, But we,
especially if you don't have money. The one moment you say, okay, we want to shut it off.
and then we decided, okay, let's try and get some subsidies, because especially in France, it's actually possible to have. And then we started wondering and informing ourselves, and it was a little bit complicated. And then we said, okay, let's do it ourselves without any help, and we borrowed money.
Oh, okay.
And then
yes, so we started to look. Yes, we look for money, but not bank, not institution, just friends, just anonymous friends that believed in us, and they gave the money, hoping that we could give back again, and it worked. Okay, last year we finished to pay everything.
Congratulations.
So,
how does it feel not to own anybody money?
This is the first tournée with no debts. With no debts. And what canceled.
But it's better
but it's okay.
Back in a quarantine with no debts, no?
Yeah.
Yes, it's very okay. It's the best moment to have all this. No, it was terrible because we would come. We have planned to come in Lithuania, in Polonia, in North Germany as always, and
Holland.
All the tour was cancelled, and to build up a tour, as like with you need a lot of change mails, agree, contract, try to find solution to everything, and you do this with all the tournée, and then from one day to another, in 1 month, I think all the dates start to fall down, and you see this is just not what you have to do, but also fall down all you did to go there, and it means that you have to do it again.
Because now some of the events are not only canceled, but they are postponed, and now everything is like squished in the time lapse that we have, in which we're not certain that we will be able to do the events,
Of course.
So,
and the events also, normally the companies, we have a plan for the next year already. So we have now to mix all the situation we had and try to do the possible. But from Lithuania to Barcelona, thousands of kilometers, and with the time is not so obviously that we can recover all the dates. That we have to understand that it's a chaos for us also, because there are shows that are just postponed, and but you have already other shows in this date,
Yeah. It's understandable, since let's say in my program, I had the plan, like we have to plan due to funding situation. I had plans 3 years ahead,
Yeah.
I had you, and then the next year, and it's planned because you have to plan, because you have residencies, you see what is near, you have, new people that you meet, and you put them at that year because the subject, and now, we know nothing. So from our side, we just decided to, we try to take the program like water and put it in just next year and just move everything, but it's water. It just falls down. And it happens not only with our festival, with a lot of festivals, especially, with Circus and Lithuania. If I want to bring somebody from France or Italy or Spain, they have to go all through Europe and country, not much festivals in Poland. Then it's like Lithuania, but somehow, little by little, but again, it's like water. So, but how do you like the lifestyle? I know that in Lithuania, the viewers are really romanticizing the lifestyle of the constantly touring artists. And as you said, there was usually you are at home like for 1 week. So what drives you into this lifestyle? Because I know myself, I really like to just sit at home, and this quarantine is perfect for me. But what is it, the traveling and seeing different cultures and countries that drives you and you want to do this? Or is it just, that's how I need to live?
I like it. I just enjoy it. Also the fact that you have to always adapt yourself and your way of being and seeing things to the situations. I think it's like thrilling.
And did you get any in your touring, since you were in very different countries and many years already? Did you had situations when you had a cultural shock that something? Also, your shows are not how do you say this? Entertainment just for entertainment. They have message in them, and it's not. And we will talk about your show in a second, but. Do you feel the difference? Because I know, let's say in Italy, you have a way different humor, let's say, than you have in Lithuania. And I remember last year we had this clown, Giorgio Bertolotti, who did his show, and he says, they are not reacting. And I said, Giorgio, they are reacting, but we are Lithuanians, we react inside. We don't show it outside. So did you have any encounters of cultural differences that affect you as an artist?
Yes, but normally the idea is that we don't have to get shocked by the culture, but we have to shock the culture. Normally the people get shocked by our show and not us.
By their
reaction. Is the point.
That's a very nice mindset.
The reactions we always want to have as heterogenic reactions as possible in the public. We really like it when people start crying and others start laughing. It's this
for the same scene. This chaos of emotion is what we do.
And anyways, the public can be also in one place can be so different from one day to the other, like exactly the opposite, only the reaction. So I really enjoy this aspect, but I don't think it's so different in the different countries. It's already different every day. So
because no, it's different.
Yes, of course you can detect tendencies of being German and laughing less than being Italian and laughing.
No. The question is that if you work in some kind of show that is we call entertainment, this kind of show works studying the reaction of the public, like the stand-up comedy and all these. All the entertainment is based on the public. The public react in some way, so you do this or you do another stuff. What we did in the last 10 years in our show is totally disattend the expectative of the public. So the public is lost in Italy as in Germany, as in the same way everywhere. And this change with our position. With the other show, of course, we knew this kind of difference between Spain or French or Germany. But since we are working on this idea, the people is in the same way shocked in different, of course, in different way. But also, as Philine said, different night in the same place change a lot. The composition of the public, change a lot. In Italy, we know in popcorn machine, we have this moment, they do mano a mano, hand, and they grab the hair like this. And in Spain, they were smiling. And in Italy, with all the times the theater was doing Like
The first reaction, and every time.
every time, you know this. And so we say, okay, now we are controlling the public. This is no good. We have to change. We have to find a way. It's just to play with this changing of expectative of the public.
Yeah,
And this
I like how you say, and I feel the same. I don't know how you manage, because when I talk to Nico, let's say, or when I talk to you, I feel the same approach towards circus as art. You know, I feel the same atmosphere, the same talking and respect even to the art. And I like how you have almost strict principles of, and it is seen in the action, it is seen in the shows that you are not wanting to, as you said, Salvatore, to listen to the consumer, not to be a consumed culture, but to try and have a sense of improvisation with meanings, with culture, with context. So I really, really like this. So at the moment, let's speak about Laerte. This is the show that was planned. So tell me about the show. How did you started to create it, and why?
Laerte
is Laerte arrived in one moment of our artistic life. We were working since different years in a new show that was called Full Out, and was very long the creation. We didn't find the way to go out from, and we had to put to stop Full Out.
Yeah, it was a personal thing.
Yes.
It wasn't artistic.
Yes. But in one point, after too much Full Out, at one point say, okay, we start again, but not from Full Out. It was the show that we were creating, and we do something totally new, and we go for it. And that was that arrived Laerte.
In our life.
In our life. It was very fast.
Like a child.
Yeah, it was very fast. Instead that Full Out, that is still stopped. And we will be ready next year, we think. And Laerte took the place and arrived, and we start to build a show around the idea of the sea,
the oceans, and everything around it.
And we didn't want any water, we had restriction very, very strict. and Laerte after was.
We also created it in only. Like the first creation, the first working on it was during 2 weeks, and then we staged it immediately. Only like, it was only ideas. It was really a state of whatever. We just vomited the ideas on stage with the public, and then we started creating it on stage, actually.
On stage. And then
for the next year and a half.
Yes, so we said all the time, we will see Laerte. Laerte is a work in progress for 1 year. So we don't want to stay at home. We want to go and make Laerte together with the public. So all the night, you're going to find something different in Laerte.
Also, as a result of a lack of financement, we didn't have any money to create the show. We didn't want to go and look for it neither. We just wanted to be in our tent, make the show, invite public, and create it at the same time.
It was also a challenge to make a show without all the production, all the dossier, all the requests, all the bureaucratic part, and all the time also that it needs, because you have a residence here, residence in another place, you have to travel, you have to move all your stuff, and after 1 week, you have to want to work more on the show, but you have to go to another place. So we decided, okay, we go. Sometimes a show, it takes years to be ready, sometimes not. In 2 weeks later was on stage.
It wasn't ready.
Not ready.
It was a very embryonal stage.
Yes,
but how? What is the dynamics? How do you work if you want to, as you said, you want not to listen to the public and do as they expect? So how do you create together with them? Is it in, let's say, in how do you call this? Itampa.
Itampa.
In suspense.
Itampa.
In Itampa, yeah, it's literally in suspense between you and the audience, and then when you feel that they expect something, you do something else. Or how does the process of working together with the audience worked with Laika?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we're back.
You were talking about the suspense and
so I was in suspense. So how does it work with the suspense between the expectations of the viewers and you trying to work together with them? Was it more with them or against them, or how is the dynamics with creating it together with them?
It depends on the scenes, actually. It really depends on what kind of scene you're working on. Sometimes it's good to be in contrast with the public. Sometimes it's good to be in harmony. Sometimes, or easier to get to understand dynamics in this sense.
For example, just to understand, there's a kind of a scene that we are trying. We start always from image. We have some idea of the color, the perfumes, the idea of the scene, and then we start to experiment. And then we note that the public all the time is smiling at that point, no? And we say, hey, we are interested. Is it funny? No, it's not funny. Why they are smiling? Because they find it ridiculous, no? Okay, so we have to make something that we put a doubt. We have to smile or not. How we do, and then we work on this. So after, of course, you will have people that smile on this scene, but a lot of the public will say it's not funny. You know, it's just this is the idea that you work with the public, or was the case of Laika, working with the public reaction and trying to understand if this reaction was appropriate for what
we want to say.
And especially if this reaction is always the same, this is no good. This is entertainment, because you are manipulating the audience, and this is not our goal. We did this when we've been working on the variety, and you do something that is expressed, made to make laugh the people, the audience, and if the audience doesn't laugh, you wrong something. But in this case, it's like audience have to be free to smile or cry. You have to understand. Of course, in some point we try to go deep or to put lighter some scene, because we need to write an harmony of the show.
Yeah.
But have to be all the time for us really different for each people is looking.
So if I understand right, you sort of want to create an emotional storm afterward, because as I understand, people after the show, they have a lot of thinking to do, right? It's like, I'm thinking, we are not talking about people who don't want to think at all.
Their business.
Yeah, but do you see, because I don't understand why, but I see that Circus, with the different people that we bring with different experience, and when they share their stories and their art, I see that there is a chance for change. because why we do the festival? Because in those neighborhoods, people don't communicate. Something in the architecture, in the environment is done for them not to communicate. But when you bring circus, they start to feel paradoxically safe. And they start to invite people into their home even and speak and get interested. And many, many magical moments I saw when neither the artist, neither the person from the neighborhood know English, but they speak, they communicate. So when you are trying to do this kind of storm, and in your experience, quite long experience of artistic research and productions, do you see that, or do you believe that circus can make some change? Because we know, especially now, we see that there is still a lot to do for humanity. There's a lot of, change that needs to be done. But do you think that circus as an art form can do some change?
As all art can. I think circus, for me personally, it's only an instrument. Actually, I don't really like it so much, but it's a very potentious, very powerful instrument to get, as you say, to get the people to listen to you. And then you can, we always say, okay, if you come up on stage and say something as an actor, it's much harder than when you come up on stage and make a salto mortale and then you say something. It's much...
I believe you.
Much more immediate to get the attention of the public.
But this is
it's a kind of to fabric some superpower, and then use this superpower to communicate with the people to get their attention.
Because I think that's what I wanted to ask you. Since let's say if we watch drama or dance only, and there is something that falls under the title provocative, and somehow theater and dance, when it's provocative, people feel free to express their anger. But in circus, there's some point of, yes, they are making me angry, but they are still having this super skills. So I still like the show, but I didn't like the content. So do you think circus has this cheating to get to people's head?
Definitely. Huh? That's what we do, we're cheating.
Perfect. So now we know.
Okay. I really enjoy training and enjoy the techniques I'm doing. I'm like obsessed with it, or have been at least. I really enjoy doing tricks and circus, and I really enjoy watching traditional circus when they do it. I really like it. But as an art form, I think it's handy. It's easy to get to people. Yes. It's like when you're painting behind you. Maybe it's there because it has a very good technique. No, it's not. It would be more abstract, maybe.
I wouldn't say it's a very good technique.
I see some shadows and light.
Also, I need to mention now that we are not in my home. This is not
It's not your samovar there?
We are actually in a museum, and in this museum there should have been one of the shows of the festival, and it's a museum of Juozas Gruodis. He's the father of most of the Lithuanian composers, and it's a beautiful, beautiful building, a modernist wooden house, or has only 4 chambers, and I wanted to show you this when you come, but yeah, and usually I say one random fact about Gruodis when I speak with people, but today I can say only, I don't know, that he was really, because he's, these fatherly figures, like big, that we know only from history, but actually he was a huge motorcycle freak. He built his own, he built and rode a lot of motorcycles. So on one hand you have this, a father of, wait, I think I have this. Maybe the museum will not be angry. Just look at him.
Oh.
He doesn't look like this super nice guy. But then again, he had this motorcycle obsession. Yeah, but there is a thing with circus people that I really like, that somehow, and as you said, it depends on the message they want to say, but somehow circus people are quite, they have stuff to say. Somehow they're more conscious. It seems that when you do all these, you know, tricks, or when you risk your life, when you extend the definition of what muscles and bones can do, it seems that you cannot be, well, I haven't seen yet very, you know, narrow person. You cannot be uneducated. It seems that even if you haven't read some books, you still have something to say when you're in circus. Or you think I'm wrong and you saw very, very stupid circus people?
What are you comparing with? More conscious than who?
Let's say I come from a theater field. I would say circus people are smarter than actors.
Oh, it's the exotic part of it because you don't know them well enough. I don't know.
The idea...
I think actors are much more open-minded than...
no, I don't think.
Thank you, Salvatore.
Not at all. But it's not about actors or circus or dance or... The idea is that naturally the circus is something of a traveling world. It means that for a reason or for another, all the people that work with us in our ambient, also colleagues, also company that very close to us, all the people speak more or less 4 languages. So it's just the circus is a kind of way of explore the universe. You know, your universe, because it's your body, and you try to explore all the possibilities, training a lot with your body. But also, circus people is very interested in music, in nature, in everything, and so
connected to all kinds of.
It's not so close in their own discipline because the circus is really immense. And also, when we speak about circus, like before, and skills, it's very, very interesting to know that, or to remember that the circus is new. Is something new. So we are still in the part of the exploration of the circus, because all the arts of the circus, the acrobatic, the magic, the jonglerie, the juggling, everything already was existing since ever. But the circus put all the art together and mixed languages. And this is the secret of this cocktail. It works because, so we try to put in this cocktail also something that is not so physical, something that come from the theater, something that come from literature.
Don't steal PHILINE from me, thank you. I want to see PHILINE in the background.
So this mix is very interesting, and it changed a lot because different people with that manage different techniques, everything mixed is totally different, the company from another. In the theater, normally the schools, the system, the way, the trend, everything make really similar products, no? And sometimes boring because you know what you expect and in which form. Circus people are totally different, and so the products, if we can call it products, of the artistic products are really, really different.
But do you think it is because when you work on your technique, you always search for something new? You cannot juggle 3 balls all the time. You have to.
No, we can. We can. No, We can try. We can juggle 3 balls. We just have to find the way how it looks interesting for us, and then we will have 3 balls. There are 3 balls. Actually.
I have 2 more questions. I'm really interested because you are so unique and authentic. So sorry that I want to squeeze information about you because I'm slowly falling in love. But it seems to me that you either articulated a quite clear message or you found people in the company that have the same wanting or craving or mission from life. Do you have like what do you want to say with your shows? Or what is the message that my Laika brings when it travels around Europe, or not only Europe, but do you have some sort of message, what you want from people, what you want to change?
It's so different. It's so different, and each show different messages.
Mm-hmm. It's not like one show it wants people to be hateful and the other one wants them to be lovable.
It's what you said before. People go out of the tent and it seems that they have to think a lot. It's actually what we were looking for, to make people like not consuming but reflecting about things and about what they see and why they see it, why they react, why it's and also realizing that they're actually free to do so, which is not for granted.
People sometimes say out of 10 I didn't like the show, but tomorrow I will come back again.
Super, you know, this thing.
Very good compliment.
Very good compliment.
That's amazing.
Yes, sometimes people, you see people out of the tent like looking like waiting for the reaction of the other to say, did you like also? yeah, okay, but I don't want to be the all, you know, as I like this. And a lot of people say about Laerte that they start to love Laerte 2 hours after the show. When they start to speak with other people,
absolutely,
everything and
absolutely amazing process. So actually, most of your shows ignite thinking, and in that way, you ignite conscious thinking. And I like this, how you, maybe not intentionally, but you tackle pluralistic ignorance and I see this after we go out of shows that are not, only for entertainment, when people have something inside, but they want confirmation from other people, like, am I feeling right? You know? But
we like a lot, we try to do all the time that people, we like this, like as actor on our stage, the best moment of the people is looking at you and then look some, I don't know, confirmation to the other. Like that, you see the people that is going like, did you see it? like, this is funny. Because you can believe your eyes, so you are not sure at all what are you looking.
Yeah,
and this is interesting because it makes it confused. Because it's against what we do against the television or something like this. That we born with this video, and that is very very clear. And everything is now news. The news are. This is the truth, this is false. This is the publicity. I'm at the cartel. Publicity. And then understand. But yeah, everything is very clear.
So you are actually quite against populism. And again, it's like something like anti-propaganda, because now we see a lot of, in Europe and in the US, we see like, everything is simple, words are simple, and you have to understand. And I talked recently with the professor, maybe you know him, John Paul Zaccarini. We talked about racism and how to react, how white people, and he said, people want a guidebook. I don't give a guidebook, how to be a decent human being. If you feel awkward, I want you to feel awkward. And I think this is really similar to what art of yours can do. But okay, let's speak. We have to go towards the end somehow. But let's say, because I talked with a lot of people, and many people said you cannot bring my Laika when people haven't seen other circus, like, and you cannot bring Laerte if you haven't seen Popcorn Machine. So and I like how you don't agree.
No true. This is a kind of legend around my Laika that is complex or difficult. But really, people don't know us because we are able to put a tent in a square, not in a festival. Not in a festival where people is looking show since years. We go with our tent in a village, and without the production, totally nobody knows. We put sticker, we put flyer, and the people arrive convinced to see the circus. You know, not a contemporary circus, not my Laika.
They are convinced to go in and see the zebra.
Yes, we do this with the Laerte. And they find Laerte there, and they go out like shocked, like.
But in the end,
they're very happy. Very happy.
That's what I wanted to ask. If we bring, because people told me last year that my program was too intellectual, you know, and I want to have the possibility to bring shows that I like, not shows that are, you know, easy. And circus does confront
a level of intellectualism.
Yes.
I don't think it can be a criteria.
Yeah,
but do you think that people need
criteria? Too much intellectual? Not. And also, I want to say that we are not intellectual. We are not intellectual to be. It's another kind of stuff, and circus are not so much intellectual. We don't know.
Maybe we read one or two books in our life, but
no, it's not true. But it is not. This is not at least it's not our idea of intellectualism that we have. It's a very easy. It's a visual show, you know. It's easy. That means it's not. It's possible for everybody, yes. For sure, because we want it, and all the public can enter to see Laerte, Popcorn Machine, or everything else, and everybody after can develop an idea about this. And there are parts of the show that all the people love and cannot be different because we wanted this, you know, and.
It's about the comprehensibility that once you expect some television show, like everything explained, now is the publicity, and then the publicity comes and sells you this car and sells you this cream. This is very easy to understand. Maybe ours is not easy to understand, but not meant to be understood, you know? It's meant to be experienced, not understood in
the direct sense. Yeah.
There's a sentence of Wim Wenders that is very interesting. That he said, "I don't want to tell a story. I want to show a story."
Yeah.
You know, and this is for us really a good idea, a good way to describe. We don't tell any story. We show something, and then you have to build your story with
if you want.
If
maybe
you want.
You don't want to have always the story with the beginning and the end. When I go and see a show, I really love it when I'm like, I don't understand. This is what I want to see personally.
Yeah. Someone told me, "You don't tell any story," and then they say no, and they say you tell 1,000 stories at the same time, you know. Yeah. And this is the way that we like to tell stories.
It's also a point that has been criticized a lot of our company. Like in the beginning, all the directors said, "Yeah, but there's dramaturgically there's something missing." And we were always saying, yeah, but we don't want to have a dramaturgy. I don't know.
Yes, but for one another one that say the dramaturgy is incredible. No, this is the art. And, we do our work.
Yeah, I completely am. I am bamboozled by your work, and I think we talked with other companies about, you know, how there is almost two camps. One is circus of the metaphor, one is a circus as a circus. But I like how you don't fall into one or another, and you are pioneering circus as art, because somehow people think that circus as an art, I have an understanding what it is, and you are redefining it. Like a visual art, it can be like this and it can be like that, and you are redefining circus that it can create meanings in the in the audience, it create experience. And I think it is absolutely needed and amazing. So just for the end, from your point of view, since a lot of people that haven't seen any circus in their life will see or listen to it, what would you suggest how to start the relationship, or how to start introducing yourself to circus if one person wants to see but haven't seen?
But you know, when the circus, we said just before, the circus is very young, no? When the circus start to travel for the world, people, they never saw the circus before. You don't know what is inside, you know. You don't have to know what is inside. The circus, especially the tent, is a kind of secret tent. So there is no video our shown in much less.
And it's inherent to circus to transport novelty, to transport the news.
This is the circus end point. Then you go in and you discover what it is. And all artists move what they want inside this magic box. You know, this is our idea because it's the original idea. And when we decided to make circus and to make a position with the traditional circus, what we call classic or traditional circus, we had no other way to come back to the beginning, to go really what is the circus? And the circus is a kind of some people with a tent that they do something inside that nobody exactly know what is. Okay, and this is very interesting and very inspiring for us. This is what we do. So we don't get acrobatics, because acrobatics arrive after in the circus, but all the world understand that acrobatics is the circus. Mm-hmm. It's not. The circus was traveling at the beginning of the century with the first
bicycle.
The first bicycle,
for example, or the first electric light bulb.
The first electric, they were traveling with this, and they make black everything. Or the public say, "Oh," because it was all candles.
Candles, yeah.
And the public rest on the black, and the bulb lamps was switched on, and all the public say, "Oh," you know? This is the circus.
Yes.
Acrobatic, you make a jump, and the people say, "Oh." the magic take out from the head the rabbit, and people say, "Oh, okay." Oh is a good emotion for the public, the surprise. Using this O as you want, even going with a motor in the ball, all the O is a guarantee of circus. Then you use this O to
do what you want.
To do what you want.
So I like how the conclusion is the only way to introduce yourself to circus is to introduce yourself to circus. Just go, just watch. Okay, so thank you very much, Philine and Salvatore. You are amazing, amazing people. Sorry if I disturbed your quarantine. And
sorry for last week.
Now we go to the training.
Where?
Yes. To training.
To training. We have
have a wonderful training. And for the people that watch us, just each day you will see another amazing person on screen or in your headphones. Just follow CIRKULACIJA' and you will see amazing people. Philine, Salvatore, have fun, and I hope that
one day.
Yes, we will see, and yes.
Thank you. Thank
Ciao.
you very much.
Ciao, bye.
Teatronas, Tronas, 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 Tronas.